We are good.
Awesome. Perfect. I like it. Okay, well, thanks everybody so much for joining our webinar today on Attract and Hire. We are actually super excited to kind of get this going for you guys. So that said, let me get into slideshow mode.
Okay, I'm here now. I apologize. I had my volume all the way down for some reason. So,
All right, let's go ahead and get started. So our agenda today is you're going to meet your presenters, and then we're just going to go through a little bit of an overview of our Attract and Hire module. And then we're going to go through a really nice demo of the Attract and Hire solution itself. And then at the very end, we're going to leave some, time for some Q&A. So if you have any kind of questions throughout the overview or throughout the demo, please feel free to put those in the Q&A option. And then that way we can make sure we get to everybody's questions at the end of the demonstration. All right, so your presenters today have myself, Amber Vernew. I'm an account manager here over at iSolved. And then we have Arletta Mills on the phone with us today. She is one of our senior iSolved solutions consultants. She's kind of our know-all, do-all for everything iSolved related. All right, so a couple of things as far as we like to point out on with the, Attract and Hire, just recruiters, how to recruit talent, all of that type of stuff. So 3 of the top major hiring challenges that companies are coming up against these days is the lack of qualified candidates. A lot of recruiters, HR, whoever is doing your recruiting is really struggling trying to get qualified candidates, to apply for the job and even just through the door for interviews. Also, number 2 is just the ever increasing competitive talent landscape. So, trying to, get those really good qualified candidates and just being competitive against, other companies that maybe have jobs similar out there to what you are posting out on these job boards. And then, last but not least, more open roles to fill. A lot of times this day and age, the top people usually stay at a company for, I would say, about 3 to 5 years. And so, having some turnover and trying to consistently fill those roles is also just kind of a big challenge for a lot of companies this day and age. Just a little thing that we like to share with you. So 92% of HR leaders in 2024 and 2025 are planning to ramp up their use of an automated talent acquisition and people management software. So that's actually a really big key thing to keep in mind. That's a big number as far as, those HR leaders trying to automate, being able to acquire those talents out there and people that are looking for new jobs or even people that are looking to move up, with inside your company. All right. So a couple things as far as our solution, our Attract and Hire, is you can streamline the hiring process by leveraging our tools. One of a couple things as far as our tools go, as it will totally automate a lot of your manual tasks. Arletta's going to go through this, but once employees are applying for a job and they can do it actually with our Attract and Hire from a mobile application, which is a big thing. And being able to automate that actually will automatically come into you, allowing, excuse me, allowing for your supervisors, your HR, whoever actually needs to see those specific applicants first, will get notifications. And so being able to utilize, that automated system really helps. It also helps automate screening, interviewing, and then ultimately at the end of the day, the hiring process, because utilizing our Attract and Hire, literally from the time that an employee applies for the job to the onboarding process is 100% automated within our system. This also helps with making informed hiring decisions using a lot of our key metrics that we have in there. And then also, how does the candidate fit? Do they match your criteria? What kind of criteria do you have for these candidates? And then also too, do you have kind of knockout questions? Do they have to, have certain certifications or qualifications to be able to, apply for those jobs? And so a lot of that can help by streamlining those through our Attract and Hire. That way your human resource or even your recruiting team, whoever's doing the recruiting for you, isn't having to go through and sift through 100, 200 applications, you're really going to be getting those candidates that fit that specific job with a lot of the candidate screenings that we have in place in our attract and hire solution. A lot of our features and capabilities and benefits of the attract and hire is that we do have over 5,000 free job boards, and also there's some paid job boards out there for you. We do have an AI tool for the job ad writer. So using that AI tool to make sure that you're writing your job ads, really kind of helps you cut down on time being able to use that. We do now have a candidate matching recruiting tool that Arletta can kind of go through and show you. So that candidate matching really helps kind of make sure, again, that you're getting the best candidates for the best jobs, and it kind of helps kind of match those employees up. So if I'm applying for a job, but maybe you have another job out there that's better suited for me, it kind of helps with that candidate matching piece. We do have a calendar integration for scheduling interviews. We have some candidate profiles as far as like some in-depth reporting there. We have branded career pages to boost the employer's brand with those candidates that are out there and trying to find those jobs that make sense for them. It also provides a better candidate experience, and then it reduces the time for cost to hire. And then you're always staying at top of mind with candidates. And then the other nice thing I will say again is that you can apply for a job on their mobile application. We make being able for those employees or potential employees to apply for the job very easily. A lot of times if an employee or a future employee is trying to apply for a job and applying for the job is very complicated, whether it's on a desktop or a mobile phone or even a tablet, they will actually abandon applying for that job altogether, which could potentially make you lose maybe a potential top candidate. And so we try to make that very easy for those future employees to be able to apply for a job. And then that way it kind of gets them, in the process of trying to find out like, okay, is this the perfect job for me? Am I a candidate? Do they match what you're looking for? So we do try to make that very simple for those, future employees to be able to apply for those jobs. All right, at this point in time, I'm going to pass the baton over to Arletta. She's going to go through a really nice demonstration of how the attract and hire module works. And again, if you do have questions, please make sure that you get those into the Q&A throughout the entire demonstration. That way at the very end, we have time to make sure we get to all of your questions.
All right.
Arlette, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I thought I lost my presenter rights. I'm not able to share the screen. It took it away from me.
It took me a second to figure it out on Zooms this morning too. I was like, wait a minute.
Do you show me as a panelist?
I
Yes.
do, yes.
All right. We all gotta love technology today, right?
Yeah. How about now?
Well, I do apologize to everybody on the meeting. I generally don't have this issue. So let me see. It is not letting me share my screen. I do apologize. All right, Amber, where did you find it?
It took me a minute. It's actually at the very bottom of my screen next to the chat option that says, and it jumped out at me after a little bit because it highlighted up in green after a minute.
I have chat and I have raised hand. I apologize. I do not have a share screen.
Do you have a more option off to the right that says more?
I do not.
Oh, weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was on as a presenter, and then as soon as Amber started, it took away my presenter rights. You might have to make me, should I log out and log back in?
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
I blame it because it is leap year this year.
Yeah, I know. It's all screwed up.
It is all screwed up. When you have that one extra day in February, it just makes all the technology just go completely crazy, right?
Yeah. All right, looks like she got it.
There we are. All right, now you might be on mute, Arletta.
You're good.
Okay, can everybody hear me now and see my screen?
We
We
can.
hear you and
Woo! This is it, February 29th. Everybody just loves February 29th, I know, right? Well, let's jump into the technology and show you how great iSoft can be. Couple things I want you to think about. I do have weird conversations with people. And one of the things I found when I'm having conversations is my son was recently looking for a position. He was out on Indeed, and he was putting out 20 to 30 applications a day, and he wasn't hearing back from anybody. So that got me a little bit curious, and I was talking to employers, and employers who are using Indeed tend to get thousands and thousands of applications a day, and they have to sort through those. So for one, it's very hard for an employer who is maybe hiring local. You might be trying to hire some local talent, and you keep on getting applications from other states. We have a couple things to help you in iSoft, and I think that's a really big thing. So one of the things I do want you to know is we do have QR codes, and we have the ability to text to apply. So if an applicant uses a text to apply, they're going to text a code to a number, and the solution is going to get their basic information in the system so you have visibility. But maybe you like to go out to job fairs, you like to have people come into your lobby and apply. We can actually create QR codes so that when they scan the QR code, they actually come right here to your career site. Now, this is a site that we will build and maintain for you for mobile optimization. It's your color scheme, your company logo. And actually, when somebody's on your current website, when they click in that careers or employment tab, this is the page they're taken to. They never know they're leaving your site. But down the middle are various positions in which we're currently hiring for. So again, I can take those QR codes and have them go to a specific job or just to your job page. You're in control as the employer. When we click on any of these job titles, it's going to bring up that great job description of what we're truly looking for. And these are things we'll house in the solution for you, so you don't have to recreate the wheel every time. Now, another thing you're going to see on my screen is you can apply for this position in 3 minutes or less. I have long applications, I have short applications, but what this is a target application. So what we're doing with target applications is we're weeding out those applicants who are not qualified, and you're only pursuing the ones that are. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to hit apply for this position. And the first thing that's going to come up are those instructions. So, we always have basic wording here, but maybe you have a statement of work or a disclosure you'd like to add here. We could easily add that. Then to move through the process, they simply hit proceed to next step. And we're going to come into these job questions. And what I encourage you to do is think about the deal breakers or the roadblocks you come across when you're interviewing somebody. That had you known that ahead of time, you wouldn't have even bothered to interview them. So again, this is a big differentiator between us and just using a platform like Indeed. We have knockout questions. Now here you'll see I had an employer who was located in Central Michigan. She felt that in today's technology, it's too easy for somebody in Southern California to apply for her position. And she was trying to hire that local help. So our first question was, are you willing to relocate to Central Michigan? Yes or no? If you answer no, this is a disqualifying question. It still allows you to complete the application process. It's just going to sort you in a different bucket. So we can have yes, no, drop down, checklist, or fill in the blank. Any or all of these questions can be knockout questions. Sometimes they're just informational. Now, as I proceed to the next step, I'm capturing a copy of the resume. But these are just options. So if you don't want to capture a copy of the resume, you don't have to. As they work through this process, when they get to the end, if they completed all of your required steps because you're in control, the solution would allow them to submit their information. And you can see this applicant has skipped a step, and it's not going to allow them to submit their information, allowing you to get those easy, completed applications right from the start and really knowing what specific job they're looking for and if they have those basic requirements, removing some of that work off of your shoulders and that administrative burden. Now I'm going to move over to the administrative side because everything you've seen has just been from the applicant standpoint. And we're going to talk about, you can have different job questions for different jobs. So you don't have to have the same questions for everybody. We have different requirements for different jobs. This is where we're going to house those job templates, but let's talk about actually posting a job And one of the great things here, if I come in here, the first thing I'm gonna do is job advertising. So with ISOB, we're gonna help you do those job postings. We'll work with you and find out any job boards you're currently working with. And yes, we'll post to Indeed or any of those paid. There's also gonna be a variety of free job boards we automatically post to, things like CareerJet and ZipRecruiter Organic. Now, one of the unique things about the solution is this job ad quality. And this is where you're going to find out your first level of AI technology in ISOP. What this AI technology is doing is it's reading your job ad and it's saying, hey, your ad appears to be a little too short. We want to get between 300 and 700 words. And then it appears there is one or more bulletins in your job description, and we need to tighten that up a little bit. So the system's actually helping you create those effective job descriptions. It's also giving you key usage words here. So, you know, a lot of times we want to bump our way up on these job boards, right? We want everybody to see our job listings before anybody else's. And what the system does is it looks all across the United States and it says, when people are looking for a job like this, these are the keywords they're searching for. So you can up your visibility just by working certain keywords into your job description. So that AI technology is really that friend for you, helping you get more visibility into your job boards. Now, we will also work with any social media accounts if you want. So we can register your Facebook or your LinkedIn accounts right here. When you click on that, we will do the posting for you. Now, another great thing I always like to talk about is this job board favorites. I'm sitting here in Indiana, and let's say you're looking for some job boards in Georgia. Well, you can actually come out here and look up by state different job boards that you might not have known is available. So when I pull up the state of Georgia, it's going to show me job boards, and it's going to show me things like where is this locate, where are these locations hitting? And if there's a cost associated with those job boards. Now, there's a lot of free job boards out there, and that's where my comfort level is. I like those. Maybe you're looking to get hooked up on those handshake accounts, get those college kids. We can help you do that. But hey, maybe occasionally you're like, I want to pay for this job board. I want to see if I can get some traction there. Well, for me, if I've got to pay for a job board, I need to know I'm getting my money's worth. So within the solution, we have a very robust report section. We're going to have all of your standard time to fills, your EEOs, your vets, all of that information here. There's even a report builder. So if you want to see information in a certain format, we can do that. What I like is the dashboard. On the dashboard, I'm going to see all my sources. So here's all the job boards I'm currently working with. How many applicants am I getting per job board? What percent goes to interview and what percent goes to hire in the last 30 days and the last 6 months? This way, you'll always know if you're getting your money's worth. And you'll notice this one right here is the QR code. So I can say, hey, I used those QR codes when I went to that job fair. How many applicants did I get from that job fair? Was that a great job fair to go to? Or maybe I need to try a different one. ISOP's all about giving you the data so that you can make those strategic decisions. All right, well, let's look at those applicants because I know that the applicants are really important to you. Again, we talked a little bit about AI technology, and what the system can do is it can really help you with the AI technology, telling you if the applicant is meets your requirements. So there's ability to say, hey, they have the top matching scores, or they have the top skills to grow right here. So if you're looking to implement that into the system, but keep in mind with our applicants here, what you're going to find out is that we never purge information from our solution. So I heard a very interesting conversation the other day where somebody said, you know, not everybody, some people interview better than they work. So let's say you did the interview process, you did your due diligence, and this was a candidate that you wanted. And you hired them and they just didn't work out, right? We've all had that probably happen. So with us never purging information, what you can do is you can actually go right back into your pool of candidates and pick up wherever you left off with those other candidates. Now, this is, again, a very colorful dashboard. What you're going to see here is it tells me if I've sent notes or if I've done background checks on the applicants. Things that I do in the system, it automatically tags it. But if I come down here to Cody was multilingual, and that was something we were hoping to find for this position. So as we were interviewing people, we were able to put in our own personal tags and keep an eye on those applicants that had that quality you're looking for. As I open up Cody, what you're going to find out with Cody is he filled out my longer application. So he has his employment history, his education. He even attached a copy of his resume. And we do have that parsing technology. So ISOB can parse information off of their resumes and fill out those applications if you'd like. Here's what we want you to see though. Cody, he prefers to be text message. And this is a trend we're seeing in today's workforce. So within ISOB, you can send out email and text messages right here from the solution. So I sent Cody a text message and he got a text message from an actual phone number, but it wasn't my personal phone number. I get to retain my privacy. Now, when he responded back, his response goes right here in the communication inbox, but I also get a copy of it in my Outlook email because I'm just not in applicant tracking all day long. Since I was already in Outlook, I replied back to Cody. He got a response back and he got a response back via text message and my response went right here in the communication box for you seamlessly. So really allowing you to communicate effectively with those candidates. Now, as you're doing interviews, you can always update their account and you can add notes into their account. When we're looking at the statuses here, when we set your account up, we'll build this terminology out to your current process and terminology. And you'll even get to choose reasons of why you're not hiring somebody. Now, this comes into play if I come down here. Cody's applied for my company 11 times. His last known status was he applied too many times. So if I saw this, I could come up here, move this one to apply too many times, archive them, and move on to the next applicant. Maybe Cody's doing really good in his job interviews and you'd like to maybe talk to him on the phone or have him come in. You can actually send out a calendar invite for Cody. And the unique thing here is I can actually tell the solution, hey, I'm only looking at doing applications or interviews this week till Tuesday, and I don't want anything past 3 p.m. My kid gets off the bus and it's really hard for me. So what you're seeing is this is synced to my Google or Outlook calendar, and it's only showing the applicant times that are available on my calendar. So when he gets this invite, he can schedule directly on my calendar a time that works best for him that's open on my calendar. Really cutting back that back and forth and wasted time with these applicants. There are action items. Maybe you are somebody that has somebody helping you interview people, or you just need a form so that you can be consistent in your interview process. So this is a list of questions that you get to make up. Then when you or your hiring managers are interviewing people, you can ask them to ask these questions so we can get a little bit more of a consistent hiring process. You can also share this application via email, or you can spotlight an applicant. When we spotlight applicants, we're asking our coworkers, hey, will you come in and give me some feedback on these applicants? Under the options here, you'll notice we do have assessment testing. If you're somebody that likes to do the assessment testing, we can build that in with the solution. We also have Wedge. Now, Wedge is actually that video recording. So what you'll do as an employer with Wedge is you can make up questions, you email it to the applicant, and then they record their responses. So you can actually watch a recording of them doing that. We have a lot of different assessments. So again, if that's something you're interested in, we can build into the solution. We do have the ability to do background checks right here within the solution. The nice thing about our background checks is when we come in here, we're only going to see packages that are relevant to our company. Not everybody needs a DOT background check. Once you order the background check and you hit submit order, we take over. We contact the applicant. We get all of the necessary paperwork signed off, and we complete the background checks. Your results will go here as complete, and there'd be a URL where you could go in and print out the results of those background checks. Maybe you like to send out offer letters. We can build in as many offer letters as you would like within ISOB. Here you're going to see that each offer letter has their own unique placeholders that you set. So in this offer letter, I'm basically just telling them how much I'm going to pay them. Are they going to be exempt or non-exempt? Maybe a work location. And you can even have an approval process so we can get a couple set of eyes on this before it goes out to the applicant for electronic signature. Now, let's say Cody signs that offer letter and you are ready to hire him. This is actually where you can start the onboarding paperwork. This goes right into ISOB. So I'm going to have to answer a couple pieces of information. For me, I have to tell the solution which tax ID, because you can have multiple tax ID. Is this a new hire or rehire? If you are in an industry where you rehire seasonal help, this is a great tool because you can ask your rehires to go through onboarding again and get their updated information. We'll just do a new hire today. I'm going to choose which onboarding template. You can have multiple onboarding templates. We never limit you. And then which work location. You'll see I'm all over the United States. Now, when I come down here, all I do is hit send, and Cody sent an invitation that says, welcome to the company. Please click on the link below and start your new hire onboarding paperwork. But what I want you to see is look at the information. You remember those offer letters, the e-forms, those HR data surveys, the documents, the resumes, their employment history and education history. That is all going to flow over into iSoft automatically for you, saving you from having their resumes and everything in a different system and you having to bring it over manually. iSoft does that work for you automatically. Now that is what I had to show you today. I hope you enjoyed that demonstration of our applicant tracking solution. Are there any questions in the chat, Jason?
There are not.
All right. And it might be disabled. I was having a hard time when I was on that side.
Yeah. It's been a rough go for Zoom here today.
You know,
But
every technology has their days. We'll just give Zoom a bye for today and it'll be back to working tomorrow, right?
That's right. So, yes, I appreciate everybody for joining us. I will get this recording out to everybody and everybody that registered. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can. My email, jason.simmons@ctrhcm.com. And I'll also be following up with everybody as well, just to make sure that they receive that recording, since we've been having a little bit of issue with technology. So have a good one, and we'll talk to you next month. Thank you, everyone.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.